our understanding of the past really, it shapes our relationship with the future. And personally, I think it's okay to take a critical look at historical figures. I mean, that's what history is.
How this all started was during the time of racial reckoning that was happening nationally and locally with the murder of George Floyd and the subsequent protests. The mayor asked the Agency for Human Rights and Community Partnerships Advisory Board to review city assets and then make recommendations on those assets that should be named.
2020 was definitely a time that asked us to reconsider and reevaluate. Are we honoring all the people that we need to and the places that we need to in ways that reflect our current community? And so I think the library undertook that same evaluation for its branches.
We all saw a lot of people around the world pulling down historic statues as people were really angry about long-standing, horrific racial and social injustice, not just in this country, but all over. And that just caused me to pause and wonder, as a 130-year-plus institution, what names and what people we had been honoring in our community. So I asked our Western history and genealogy staff to do some research about all of the names that were associated with our branch libraries.
All the Ross branches are named after Frederick Royal Ross. So that we have a bunch of, we have Ross Broadway, Ross-Barnum, Ross U Hills, like our Ross Barrett Aviation collection, he helped fund that. We still have Frederick Ross money at DPL that we use to fund things. So it's a very generous, very active, civic-minded businessman, the kind I just don't think there are today.
And the second name, Barnum, we don't believe was named specifically for P.T. Barnum. This neighborhood is named Barnum. We know that P.T. Barnum had a complicated history. People will think that the name of the library is associated with this person. So I do think it's really important to at least explore renaming this branch.
He's known for the circus and for being a showman, and he's really more of a showman than a circus guy. He got into the circus when he was about 60 years old, but his showbiz career started in 1835 in a kind of not great way when he leased out an enslaved woman named Joyce Heath, who was believed at that time to be almost around 80 years old. Even though he was in New York and Pennsylvania where slavery was illegal, there's a loophole where you could still lease an enslaved person. And he hyped her as being the 160-year-old nursemaid of George Washington. He worked her pretty hard. She was on display for about 10, 12 hours a day and then died. It's generally thought that he kind of just worked her to death. It was an 80-year-old woman who hadn't had a great life already and had very likely survived the Middle Passage. And he had a public autopsy for her, which he sold tickets to. And when the coroner said this woman is no more than 80 years old, he said that the bodies had been switched. And so that was kind of, that launched his show business career.
He made his fortune off of exploiting people with their appearances, sometimes in alarming ways. And he used that money to purchase land out here in Denver. Even though he didn't live here in Denver, his daughter did, and we found that he visited the city 4 times.
He was never really too thrilled with Barnum and was really probably always, the whole time he had it, he was kind of trying to unload it. And ultimately called it a worthless pile of sand.
P.T. Barnum, he ended up running for the state assembly in Connecticut. He served 2 terms up until 1867. He
was a supporter of abolition, was very active in politics. He got up and told this story that generally is just completely made up, is agreed to, that he He said that he had owned a plantation in Tennessee where he had enslaved people, and he whipped them quite a bit, and then he felt bad about it, and had this kind of turnaround, this kind of come to Jesus moment. But that was generally thought to be made up entirely. So.
Community input on both naming and choosing, it gives community the voice that they need to say, this is an asset that belongs to all of us, and we should all have a role in determining what it's called.
It's really important for us to live up to our values, and one of them is around challenging inequity. But we also have a value of strengthening connection and welcoming everyone, and so community is really at the heart of everything that we do. So while it's important to me and our organization what the name of this branch is, we really want to hear from community, and we want to explore this name together.
The Barnum community is diverse. It is such a beautiful location in West Denver. My favorite park, Barnum Park, has been home to my family parties and barbecues for as long as I can remember. It is a working class, just really proud and diverse neighborhood.
Super excited to work with Councilwoman Torres and other members of the community to figure out what the community wants us to do, but I think it's important to at least acknowledge it, and if nothing else, we can help educate folks about the name, the man, and his history, the good and the bad.